Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am sharing some of the best Hermes Chypre sandal dupes, not fakes, I could find for under $100, so you can decide which are the right ones for you. Now, I have never really understood the Hermes Chypre sandals trend, as I thought they were so chunky and ugly looking. I'm sorry, I just felt like they looked more like orthopedic shoes until I saw them on a hot day in Positano after we'd walked about 4,000 steps. My feet were sweaty, they weren't feeling too great, and she looked so comfortable. And I was like, okay, I finally get it. So I went on a hunt to try and find the best ones for me as well as for you. What I really like about them is that they can be adjusted when your feet swell in the heat. They have a sturdier anatomic rubber sole for ultimate comfort, which makes them much more comfortable than most of the other summer flat choices I've been wearing before. But for the amount I would personally wear them, I really can't justify spending over $1,000 on them, and they're just not my normal aesthetic. These are sandals that for me would just be more for long hot days where I'd be doing lots of walking and don't want to wear sneakers or loafers. So when looking for the Hermes Chypre sandal dupes, I wanted to make sure they were dupes and not fakes, e.g. their name isn't anywhere on them. I also still wanted to make sure they were still decent quality, that they're not going to fall apart on us, and that they'd still be comfortable. Otherwise, what's the point in getting them? The top three sandals that kept coming up with the best ratings are Project Cloud, Steve Madden, and Cushionaire. So let's have a look. And I'm going to get them all out. I'm going to compare them side by side, what they look like, what they fit like, comfort, how similar they are to the Hermes ones, Russell, and the weight of them, the quality of them, and which I would pick overall, which I think are the best, and why. The reason I want to do it like that is because what I might think is the best and what I'm looking for might not be exactly the same as what you're looking for, and we all have a slightly different eye. I also feel like if you want to have them around the pool or for the beach or a vacation, having something that's water resistant is more important, and only one of these pairs, I nearly said two, only one of these pairs is actually water resistant. And even when I'm unboxing them, I can feel a difference in weight in some of them, and I think having a light shoe, especially for packing and trying to keep down your weight, especially if you're flying with EasyJet or Ryanair and you need to make weight, or if just for packing in general, you're really just trying to minimize things or don't want something heavy on your feet on a hot, humid day, the weight definitely comes into play. The same as the shade of white. I definitely prefer a bright white. As you'll know from my Hermes loafer review I just did, than an off-white or a beige. So a first look and quality is side by side. A couple of things I was looking at to make them as similar as possible to the Hermes Chypre sandal was to have that same two-tone look with the white leather upper and the black rubber sole. I was also looking for that H-shaped upper with the adjustable strap with silver hardware because it's silver on the Hermes. No stitching, there's no stitching on the Chypre like there is on the Hermes Oran sandals. And there is actually stitching on one of these pairs of shoes. I don't know if you can see it from a distance. We'll see what they look like on, because like I said, I don't know if it's a deal breaker. There might be other factors that make it the winner, but I just want to point out things like that that do differentiate them from the original Hermes Chypre sandals. Beside the quality, the other is the tread on the chunky anatomic rubber soles. So I really wanted to make sure they had that chunky soles. Quality-wise, obviously none of these are going to compare to Hermes, which is calfskin or goatskin sandals, because they're literally a tenth of the price or less. These are all under $100. Hermes is over $1,000 plus tax. And two of these are real leather, which I can see and feel, and one is vegan leather. So when I was saying about the best dupes, it's going to be very personal. Some of you might only buy vegan leather, so those are obviously going to be the winners for you. I personally prefer the look and feel of real leather, but that's just me, which is why I want to share everything about all of these sandals with you. Let's pop them on and see how they fit. When it comes to the fit, the Cushionaire and Project Cloud, they say run true to size. The Steve Madden, they recommend sizing half a size up in. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so lengthwise, these feel very good. I like the molded footbed. They feel like your feet are really kind of nice and snug in there, but they do feel too wide. But the beauty of all of these shoes is they should be adjustable, but only the top strap is, not the H. So if the H is feeling too wide, I think it's going to be a struggle, and these do feel a little bit too wide on me. And these are the ones that were the vegan leather, so I'm not loving the look of the vegan leather. Now that's too tight. So just play around with them. The good thing about adjustable straps is when it's hot and humid and your feet swell, you can loosen them, tighten them when you're in the AC, whatever you need to do. Okay, those are a really good length, and they are quite comfy. Actually, very, very comfy. I just don't know if they feel a bit too wide on me. It's almost like my feet are too shallow, too flat, and too narrow. So I'm kind of slipping around in the top of those, which I'm not loving about it. And the heel, my heel is starting to slip backwards in them rather than being within the molded footbed. So I would say they're on true to size, but not the most comfortable fit. So we're going to go on to Project Cloud. I love the look of this leather. Oh my gosh, they are so, so comfortable. When I have my feet in them, again, it's that nice molded footbed. With these ones though, love the color of them, love the feel of the leather, but they do have the stitching on. So they are very obviously not Hermes. That's kind of a dead giveaway, but the fit on them feels really good. And I haven't even messed with the strap. So let's mess with the strap. And actually now I'm bending down to adjust them. What I do notice on this, it's gold hardware, not silver. So if someone really knows their Hermes shoes, obviously these are dupes, they're not fakes. So we do want key differences because obviously none of them have the name on. They're not coming in the orange boxes. They have their clear brand name on them. If you're looking to be more similar, things like the stitching, the gold is a dead giveaway. They're not the real thing. If that doesn't bother you, and you're just looking for something in the style of, more inspired by, I think these are really lovely. And so far to me, they are so much better than the Cushionaire from looks, from fit, and for comfort. Weight-wise, the Project Cloud are heavier than the Cushionaire, but not hugely. Okay, let's move on to, you know what, I'm gonna put it on with the Steve Madden so you can really see. Okay, the Steve Madden, I'm glad I went up a half a size. The color on the Steve Madden is my absolute favorite. It's a true bright white. It actually makes the Cushionaire and the Project Cloud look quite dull. And for me, I really, really like that color. And I found actually the best Hermes dupes were by Steve Madden. I've reviewed those before as well. And let me just double check, do a close up. The markings on these, the hardware on these is silver. There is no stitching. So I feel, and these are real leather. So these are going to be the most similar looking to the Hermes Chypre. Oh, they are really lovely. And just standing here bouncing around, maybe the Project Cloud is more comfortable. Actually, I think it is. I feel like it has more of that memory foam. I'm just standing here bouncing like a weirdo. I feel like they are more comfortable. But fit-wise, the Steve Madden is better for me, so that almost makes them more comfortable. But that Velcro is definitely rubbing on that foot. Let me see if it does it with the other shoe, because obviously that's kind of a deal breaker as well. When you're trying to get comfortable shoes, the last thing you want is a pair that rubs, and they both do it. Oh no, that is kind of a deal breaker. I'm wondering why they're doing it. I can see why they're doing it. Here on the underside is very rough. It's not smooth. So that right there, I thought I might have overlapped that too much that way or that way, and it was the top rubbing on it. It's actually this bottom piece. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. You're just going to have to take my word for it or try it yourself. It doesn't look very well finished. So this part here is what's rubbing on my foot. And that's such a shame because aesthetically, I would say they are my favorite pair. They are also the heaviest pair out of all of them. Fit-wise, the Steve Madden are absolutely the best fit on my feet, but they are the least comfortable. So let me review them all side by side for you quickly again, so you can decide which are the right pair for you. Now, the Steve Madden are the best fit. They're comfortable. They're my favorite color. I think the quality is great. I think how close to dupe they are is fabulous. The downside and the deal breaker for me is that they are rubbing across the top where the Velcro strap is. And that to me is a deal breaker because the idea of them is to be comfortable. And I already have a mark where the Velcro is. In saying that, they could be a faulty pair. So I definitely think it's worth ordering them, seeing how they work for you, but definitely size up half a size. Like I said, the fit is the best on these for me with the width, the depth, everything, the length. But I went up half a size. Oh, they're also the heaviest pair. Okay, and let's go on to Project Cloud. Now, the quality of these is great. It's very comparable to the Steve Madden. It might even be slightly better. They are very, very comfortable. The fit on these, I ordered my normal size 7. I don't think I could go up or down. And they do have that stitching on, and they do have the gold hardware. So the least similar to the Hermes, but still very, very similar. And I think a really, really good, comfortable pair of shoes. They're not rubbing anywhere, and they are more lightweight than the Steve Madden. And then the last pair is the Cushionaire. But with the Cushionaire, they were my least favorite aesthetic. They're very comfortable. I just don't love the off-white color, although it does go with my top. But otherwise, absolute brilliant pair of shoe. Comfortable, fit true to size, and they are the lightest. They're also the vegan leather, so if you like vegan leather, these are definitely going to be the winning pair for you. They don't have stitching, they have the silver hardware, they look very much like the Hermes Chypre sandals, but to me, they're just not the best quality just because of that leather. I can see and feel that they're not real leather. So all very different. They kind of, from a distance, they look similar. They are all great dupes in all different ways. So which are my favorite? I have to say, I think my favorite are the Cushionaire. I know I said they are vegan leather and I could see and feel the difference, but they are the most comfortable. They look very, very similar. There's, like I said, there's no stitching, there's no hardware, and they're the most lightweight. So if I'm looking for an affordable dupe that I can leave by the pool, that I can pack, and they're light and easy to travel with, these are the way to go. I feel like they're going to be the most comfortable for long days walking. However, if you are torn between the Cushionaire and the Project Cloud are memory foam and they are water resistant. The Steve Madden and the Cushionaire aren't, which is weird. I thought the vegan leather pair would be the water resistant pair. They're not. So if that's more important to you, check out the Project Cloud. So those are the best Hermes Chypre sandal dupes I could find that actually hold up on comfort, quality, and style without the $1,000 price tag. I'm going to try ordering the Steve Madden again just in case I got unlucky, and I'll update how it went in the description below. Let me know which pair you'd go for, or if you found any others you think are worth us trying. I'll drop links to everything below so you can compare for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, hit subscribe for more fashion finds and luxury travel tips, and I'll see you in the next one.